I'm Mike May with PHIT America, PHIT, PHIT America. It's a nonprofit group based on trying to get America more active.
Right. And how long did you say you've been doing this?
PHIT America's been around 18 months. It was established in January of 2013 by leaders in the sporting industry to get everyone aware of the magnitude of our inactivity pandemic. We have a lack of daily PE in schools. We are engineering activity out of our lives, and as a result, we're becoming very obese. We're not burning more calories than we're putting in, and as a result, we're spending more on health care than we should. And so we're highly inactive, and we need to become active.
Right. And let's talk a little bit about what do you see as the biggest, I guess, the biggest issue with just Americans in general when it comes to that?
Too many modern conveniences, again, have taken activity out of our lives. We used to be a very mobile society 50, 60, 70 years ago, and now we're a society of convenience. Again, the roots of our inactivity are probably the lack of daily PE in our schools. How that came about, I have no idea, but we need to turn back the tide. School districts such as the Chicago Public School Districts have made a commitment to start daily PE in all classes, all students, all grades, all schools beginning this September. Why is activity important? The CDC says that exercise is the wonder drug. The American College of Sports Medicine, based in Indianapolis, says that exercise is medicine. There are some doctors out there who say that sitting is the new smoking. It's that important, whether it's walking, jogging, gardening, biking, swimming, playing basketball, whatever. Let's be active. As I say, just for the health of it.
Yeah. And I guess let's talk about a couple different avenues on that. I'm going to switch sides here. So
okay, good.
Looking over this way.
No problem.
Let's talk about kids in general. I know that's something that a lot of people touch on. Can you give parents out there some ideas about some things they can do to get their kids active?
One of the best ways for parents to get their children active is to be active themselves, to lead by example. Get off the couch, get away from the computer, get off the phone, and go out and play. Whether it's playing catch or playing tag or going on a group bike ride or throwing the frisbee in the front yard, whatever it takes, get outside, be active, enjoy the outside, and your children will follow your lead. You'll get healthier. They'll be healthier, your quality of life will improve dramatically.
Yeah. And do you, overall, what do you think as far as when we're talking about just families in general, do you believe that that's, kids kind of follow parents' leads, and do you see that?
Well, we've noticed a lack of general play outside. Why are children not outside playing? Safety concerns, lack of green space, the lack of daily PE in schools where they're taught how to be active. If we teach a child how to read, they will read. If we teach a child how to be active, they'll be active. People who are taking PE in schools are 3 to 4 more times likely to be active later in life. In fact, there's a recent study we found out that if you play high school sports, you're far more likely to be active in your 60s and 70s. So the foundation for activity and movement and playing sports is really PE in schools, starting in elementary school and kindergarten.
And let's talk a little bit about that, because there's probably some people out there that say, well, I'm not an athlete, or I wasn't an athlete when I was a kid, and maybe a little intimidated by that. Can you give people some ideas about things that they can do to remain active without being an athlete?
Sure. Phil Knight, the founder of Nike, says that there's an athlete in everyone. And not everyone has to be a great basketball player like Larry Bird at Indiana State. There are so many activities out there, more than 120 different things that people can do. It's not about being an Olympic champion or being a winner. It's just about being active. And once you try it, you'll like it. The positives that you get from being active as far as improving your appetite, improving your attitude in life, improving your level of energy are so addictive that you want to do it again. And you'll quickly realize that it's not about being an Olympic champion or being a high school, the greatest athlete in your high school. It's just about being part of the team, being active. And it's a foundation for good health in life. People who are active, generally speaking, don't suffer from obesity. They don't go to the doctor other than once a year. They save money on prescription drugs. The positives for activity are just multitude. And even if it's just walking, walking is an incredibly transformational activity. It surprised me when I found out the research.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about your website. I know that
Yes.
I just glanced at it, but it looks like there's a lot of resources on there for people who might have questions about just physical activity in general.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the website, some of the things you hope that you can provide to people.
Yeah. At PHITamerica.org, PHIT, PHITamerica.org, there is a multitude of information about activity, besides all the press releases that put out the information that we publicize. We're also pushing 2 pieces of legislation in Congress that people in the greater Terre Haute region can be a part of. If you go to PHITamerica.org, you can click on the links to the PHIT and the PEP legislation that we're pushing through Congress. The PEP legislation we've been successful in getting passed in recent years. It provides federal funding to PE districts, PE programs and school districts to revive PE programs. The PHIT legislation impacts the rest of America. It stands for Personal Health Investment Today, PHIT, that's where PHIT America comes from. Basically, this legislation would expand health savings accounts so that in addition to get reimbursed for medical expenses, you can also get reimbursed for physical activity expenses, because a prescription to help you lose weight is something you get reimbursed on. But if you're given a verbal prescription by the doctor to join a health club and do Zumba or spinning, that's not reimbursable. We're trying to get that reimbursable because healthcare activity is a form of medicine.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I guess let's back up to the point of why are you doing this? Why do you feel it's so important to do this?
Yeah. I'm involved because it's a personal crusade. I'm 52 years old. I was raised in Indiana. I was a high school athlete down in Seymour. I've been a lifelong athlete, rugby player, golfer, runner, bicyclist, swimmer. It's the foundation for my life. I go to the doctor once a year, and so I like to think that I am a beacon, an example. I'm not an Olympic athlete, would love to have been, might still be one day, you never know. But if it's good for me, it should be good for others. I see so many people out there, especially young children, who are incredibly attached to these devices that keep them immobile, and that is not in their best interest. I know it's incredible technology, but it's not in their short-term and long-term best interest health-wise. We need to get up, we need to get active, we need to be moving, and if it's been good for me, it would be good for the rest of the country too.
Sure. Now, I know you brought some things with you. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you brought and some of the things that might be helpful to people if they just don't know where to get started or how to get started.
Well, if you're not sure about where to get started in sports or activity, again, go to our website, PHITamerica.org, and you actually have a link to, if you want to play flag football, you put in your zip code, and it'll give you opportunities to play flag football or slow pitch softball or basketball or tennis or golf in that neck of the woods if there's an opportunity publicized on the internet. So we try to be that matchmaker between the athlete or the person who wants to be active and the opportunity. When it comes to being active, we have some examples of products that might take the work out of the workout, inspire you to perspire. And they range from like the Never Flat basketball from Spalding. This actually stays filled with air 10 times longer than the average basketball. It has nitroflate technology. It was designed by NASA scientists, and less than $40. It's a great way to invigorate your workout with basketball, which is appropriate in Terre Haute, Indiana United States. If you're into tennis, Head has the graphene radical racket. This is endorsed by Andy Murray and Sloane Stephens. It has graphene technology, the world's lightest and strongest material. It is as light as a feather and stronger than a diamond. It gives you unmatched power and control. It takes all the effort and the struggle out of playing tennis and makes it fun. If you're into baseball, the people at Baden Sports have the new Axe bat. The Axe bat actually has a unique handle that improves your grip, improves your bat control. It also allows you to hold the bat a little longer so you don't throw the bat, so it's a safety element. This is a youth bat. It's called the Phenom model, and it makes youth baseball a little bit more enjoyable.
Sure.
The people from McDavid, they're into the sports medicine business. This is the original protective apparel. It's a sleeveless shirt with patty in 5 different areas. It actually helps, it's very comfortable. It moves as the body moves. It's good for football and basketball and lacrosse and soccer. Some of the players in the NBA Finals right now are using the HEX technology from McDavid underneath their basketball jerseys. And if you're into running, the Ultra running shoe actually has zero drop technology in the heel, so the forefoot and the heel are on the same level. It's a more natural way to run, an expanded toe box. Many people who probably ran in the Boston Marathon this year probably used the Ultra running shoe, named one of the most unique new products of the year for runners by Runner's World Magazine in 2013.
Well, let's touch on, because you mentioned walking. And
Yes.
you mentioned that, and that's something I want to touch on because everybody can walk,
Yes.
no matter age. You said that it was interesting research. Let's delve into that just a little bit. How easy it is to do that, and how it could just be something, if somebody doesn't know where to start, they can just start walking.
Yeah, it's walking can be done at night. It can be done during the day. It can be done indoors in a mall. It's best done with a buddy, so to speak. It can be done again at any time of the day, anywhere in the country. You can walk a half a mile. You can walk a mile. You can walk uphill, downhill. You can walk at whatever pace you want. So it's whatever you want it to be. It's not a prescribed form of exercise that you have to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
And of course, there's great technology out there to make the experience comfortable.
Sure.
And as you get used to walking a mile, then maybe you'll eventually walk 2 miles. Instead of 2 days a week, you'll start walking 3 days a week. And it just, it's a fairly low impact exercise, and it's just amazing. Walking is the first thing we learn how to do in life.
Right.
And if you can learn how to walk, and the human body was made to walk and to move, and so many people just don't, and that they pay the piper down the road.
Yeah, and I guess what do you know, when somebody goes to your website or when somebody watches this, what's the one thing that you want them to take away from all this information?
Yeah. This country has 80 million people who are inactive. Some are inactive because they just are too old or too young, or they have some medical issues. But a huge percentage of the 80 million people in this country who are inactive could be active, need to be active, know it. And we're just trying to get America moving. As a result, we'll have less of an impact on our healthcare system, less issues with Medicare and Medicaid. People, if they try it, they'll like it. And if they start walking, then they may start doing something else. And we just need to become a nation of not just spectators, but participants.
Sure, sure. And I think the cost is an interesting thing too, because I know a lot of people look at, well, I don't have the money to join a gym or whatever. There are a lot of things out there that they could do that don't require spending any money at all.
Calisthenics have always been free. Walking is a very inexpensive, readily available activity. You would be surprised what kind of a deal a health club might give you if you're a first-timer. If you're a senior, there's great discounts for senior centers, many discounts for children. If you incorporate exercise into your life, the fact there may be a minimal cost is really an investment in your health and not a cost of living.
Yeah. And then let's touch on the fact that, you know, you mentioned things like gardening and things like that. There are things that people can do around the house that are not necessarily considered sports or that kind of thing that they can do. Why don't you touch on some of those things?
People getting off the couch and pushing a vacuum, sweeping, are all forms of physical activity that will pay off down the road. Again, some of the major medical doctors in this country have said that sitting is the new smoking. So just let's get up and be active. If you're behind a computer every day, get up for 5 minutes an hour and stretch. The benefits of stretching are quite transformational. We were created to push and pull and tug and twist and jump and run and swim and bike. And if you don't use the human body, you'll lose the human body. And if we don't have our health, we have nothing. So let's get up and be active. It's an investment in your life. And if you want a long, positive one, be active.
Perfect. That was awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to touch on? We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is a program we have called the Mayor's Fitness Challenge, and it's a way for a community that's obviously made up of adults where people can take on their lives for make a commitment to healthy living, healthy eating, healthy doing, healthy drinking for 10 weeks. And it's like a local Biggest Losers program. And if you can do it for 10 weeks and you like the results, maybe you'll do it for the rest of your life. And so there are now communities in America taking on the Mayor's Fitness Challenge. The most local one to here, I think, is St. Louis. And so we have like 6 cities in Florida. So all of a sudden we've got a groundswell of support of Americans who are deciding to be active rather than what they were before. And if we get a nation moving, we will see less visits to the doctor, less need for prescription drugs, less of a burden on our healthcare system, and we have more disposable income to use on things like vacations and going out to eat at nice restaurants rather than doctor's bills. And this has all started with the Mayor's Fitness Challenge. It started a few years ago in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. If they can do it in New Smyrna Beach, they can do it in Terre Haute. Sure. And wouldn't it be awesome if everybody in this community was out riding a bike, walking, going to a Zumba class, playing basketball, playing senior softball, playing tennis, throwing a Frisbee around. When they weren't working, it would become maybe the best place to live in America.
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
I take it you just kept that camera going.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
yeah.
perfect.
I say, okay, we're not going to stop. We're just
great.
Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay. Start with the sport count.
Okay.
We'll go to tennis balls. Have a.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. Okay. We're good.
All right.
Okay.
So just let's run through some of the things you have right up there.
All right. If you're looking to complement your fitness routine, there are a number of items in the industry that are available, affordable, and easy to use to complement your fitness workout. One of the best is actually one of my favorites. It's the Sport Count. It's a ring-size lap counter. It's a lot of technology on your index finger. It's operated with your thumb like so. Keeps track of total time, total number of laps, average lap speed, and fastest lap. If you're into tennis, it's now summertime here in Terre Haute. The people at Penn actually have a tennis ball that actually has a stronger core, longer lasting felt, so that you can get better bang for your buck when playing tennis. The balls don't wear out so quickly. If you're into yoga, the people at Lotus actually have a foldable yoga mat, not a rollable one, but this is your briefcase, your suitcase, and off you go. You can work out while on the road. The people at McDavid have a reflective sleeve for your calf. Actually improves blood flow to that part of the body to help with recovery. It also has a reflective element. So if you're a runner or a walker out in the pre-dawn or the post-dusk hours, there's a safety element to it. Again, one of my favorites, this is a device called the Burn Machine. It's actually a combination of a heavy hands and what a boxer would do as far as a speed bag. What you see is what you get, and this helps with toning and cardiovascular fitness. Also comes in a handy-dandy portable pouch, and that's the Burn Machine, available at theburnmachine.com. Price tag on this actually ranges from $129 to $149, depending if you buy the 4, 8, or 12 pounder. And then finally, again for people on the go, we have the Xfinity Fitness Band. It's a multiple pronged hoop, the band that you can just you step on, and you can lift this way and lift this way to improve your upper body strength. Put it around a telephone pole. It's got lots of flexibility, and again, it's an on-the-go portable form of fitness. These things and others are available at sporting goods stores around the country, Dick's Sporting Goods, the Sports Authority, and often online. So, as I say, PHIT America says, get active, get healthy, just for the health of it. We'll be a better country as a result.